Welcome back. Tonight's story takes you to haunted places in North Carolina. Paint Rock is located on the spectacularly scenic Appalachian Trail, and it has one of the most interesting pieces of folklore in American history. The legend goes that men camping near the area woke up to the sound of beautiful singing. They were lured by the siren song and found themselves looking at the reflection of a beautiful Cherokee woman in the water. They were compelled to reach for the woman, but as they did so, some unknown creature pulled them into the water and drowned them. Now hikers and campers are careful not to stray too close to the water by Paint Rock for fear of meeting the same fate. Everyone has heard of the legendary pirate Blackbeard, right? He is well known for his tales of his adventures at sea, chasing down ships and pillaging their cargo. However, few people know that he was beheaded by the Royal Navy in North Carolina in 1718. Today, people who visit Teach's Hole on Ocracoke Island say that they have heard the ghost of Blackbeard groaning as he searches the shore for the missing head. The Biltmore estate is probably one of the most popular landmarks in North Carolina, but aside from being a beautiful place to visit, it is also said to be one of the most haunted buildings in North Carolina. The former owner of the estate, George Vanderbilt, died in the property in the early 1900s, and his death seems to have left a mark on the building. It has been said that in the library, visitors are sometimes able to hear the sound of his wife whispering to him during his final hours. Of course, considering the fact that at 250 rooms, the Biltmore estate is America's largest home, as you might expect, this is by no means the only haunting in the property. There are also reports of a headless cat wandering around the property at night, and people have heard disembodied voices in the swimming pool room, along with splashes and laughing. This seems appropriate given that Edith Vanderbilt was well known for hosting epic pool parties. There have also been reports of a woman's voice, presumably Edith, calling out George's name. Hospitals are always a hotbed of paranormal activity, and Davis Hospital in Statesville is certainly no exception. It was once a fully functional hospital that operated for around 6 decades. However, due to dilapidation and public concern, the buildings were demolished in 2021. During its years of abandonment, it garnered a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the state. Thrill seekers and urban explorers reported that even on the hottest day at the height of summer, the interior of the old Davis Hospital was unnaturally cold. It was also cloaked in an overriding feeling of despair and dread. One of the most haunted areas of the hospital seemed to be the former pediatric ward, where people heard babies crying and also where people felt a strong malevolent presence. Grove Park Inn is a large hotel and spa complex that was built using boulders dug from a nearby mountain. It is also one of the most haunted hotels in North Carolina. It is said to be home to the Pink Lady, believed to be the spirit of a woman who fell to her death in the hotel's atrium in the early 1920s. It is not clear whether she fell or jumped intentionally, but whatever the true story was, she remains in a 5th-floor guest room and is known to play pranks on those staying in room number 545. One of the most haunted places in Greensboro is Lydia's Bridge. Local legend states that a young woman named Lydia crashed on the bridge on her way home from a dance with her date. Her date died on impact, leaving an injured Lydia alone and trying desperately to flag someone down to help her. Unfortunately, no help came and Lydia also died. In the years that followed, it was said that Lydia's ghost stands on the bridge flagging people down only to disappear when the car got close to her. Other versions of the story say that drivers would actually stop and pick Lydia up and drive her home, but on reaching the house she would vanish, and if the door was knocked her mother would explain that she died years earlier. The bridge is no longer in use, but plenty of visitors still stop by in search of Lydia. One particular place in North Carolina that continues to fascinate paranormal investigators is the USS North Carolina. Records show that during the Second World War, a soldier died in the battleship's washroom during a torpedo strike. He is one of the ghosts that is now said to haunt the USS North Carolina. However, he is by no means alone. Visitors, staff, and investigators have all confirmed seeing figures in various passageways and portholes around the ship. I want to thank you for watching. And until then, good night.